Hey, what's up guys? This is Kisune101 and this is my second video I'm recording. Today I'm just going to do some hand history reviews on hands I played this past week. And the first hand will be about squeezing. Let's see what happened. Do note that both the under the guy and the button are regulars, and they're pretty aggressive regulars too. Oops. Well, first of all, I want to talk about squeezing with jacks in this position. First of all, I think that jacks is still like ahead of their range, especially the button, so I definitely can raise for value here. I don't really mind taking it down anyway, because like, you know, if I call here, there's like almost no way I can call down 3 barrels or c-bet post flop, you know, unless I hit a set. You know, I mean, even with an overpay, you know, it's really hard to call down 3 barrel or c-bet post flop, you know, with a stack the pot ratio. So I don't really mind 3-betting this, you know. I mean, if you go to post flop, jacks really plays like 10s and 9s multi-way out of position anyway, so I think it's okay. Jacks is definitely at the bottom of my value range. My value range will be like jacks plus and king ace, and that's about it. But instead of getting the button, I got under the gun to re-raise me, to 4-bet me. And you know, initially when I was squeezing this, you know, provided that I was already like maybe 2 hours into the session, my natural instinct was to shove, you know, because I am at my value range. And then I realized something interesting before I shove. What I realized is that under the gun value range is only queen plus and king ace. He's not going to 4-bet call off with pocket 10s. He's not going to do it with ace queen, you know. So every time I shove and he calls, you know, I'm going to be pretty big dog. And if you use poker stove to, you know, try to get an equity with queens plus and ace king versus jacks, you know, I only have a 36.2% equity. So my question, you know, really is, how often is undergun bluffing here? You know, why don't you take like a few seconds to think about, you know, or to estimate how often a regular is bluffing under the gun. You know, provided, you know, these are aggressive opponents, but you know, these opponents are positional aware, and you know, they're not like spewy, they're just, you know, they're just tags that are, you know, they're good tags basically. I hope you already have a figure in mind, and you know, let's check out how much full equity you actually need to make a shove profitable or a shove break even. The pot is already this is I have a calculator that I, you know, use Excel to create for a 5-bet situation here. You just gotta take my word for it that this calculator is correct. You know, you can double check the maths if you want. Basically the pot is 98, and when I shove, actually I don't need to do that. Sorry, when I shove is 212.98. That's what I have left. And basically villain will have to call 212.98 cents minus 58 plus 24. And the equity we have just now was, I believe, 36.2. 36.2. And in Excel we have a very interesting function which is the go seek button. Basically what I can do is I can set my EV calculation to 0. Means I just want to calculate how much full equity I need to break even by changing my full equity cell. And for what you can see, I need a 30.4% full equity. So is this like, you know, as much full equity that you think you're gonna get, or not? Of course, you know, at real time I actually shove, and I'm not going to tell you the results, but as you can see here, I lost. But in all honesty, I just do not think you're actually getting 30.4% equity here. Sorry, I mean, you're not getting 30.4% full equity here. I don't think Williams is like bluffing that often. I think at most Williams probably bluffing 20% of the time at most. I just can't see William, like just randomly bluffing more than that. He's probably more likely to call like, all his suited king queens and ace queen, especially with the play at the back. So, what conclusion can we, come to here? I'm not saying that squeezing jacks here is actually negative for EV. I'm saying that if we do squeeze jacks here, with his stack size and good regulars, we should be folding to a 4-bet from under the gun. But when the button raises, when the button is on one of the 4-bets, the situation changes, because I think that nowadays, squeezes happen very often, and the button is really likely to play back light and get broke light, and that's what we're going to see in the next hand. Of course, provided we have queens here, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just trying to illustrate a point. Now the initial raise a fold, and he comes back to the top. And alright, let's just take a second to think, what is he raising here, and what is he going broke with? So if I shove here, what is he going to call? Like, okay, assume I have jacks, and don't ignore the queens there. For one thing, he doesn't have any big hand here, because he would have 3-bet such a small raise here, right? But assuming he's slow playing, like how often would he slow play, right? Say he's slow play 3 combos of aces, for whatever reason, and then he calls and plays back with his middle pairs and his ace queen. Alright, let's assume he does not play back with all ace queen. Let's assume he calls with all ace queen suited, but he is playing back with half of his ace queen combinations. Okay. Bam! Suddenly now we have the 68.5% equity, and provided that he'll be bluffing his 10% of the time, it may be like king queen or something like that, and fold to a shove. So now a shove is profitable. Oops. Now a shove will be much more profitable than the hand before. And as you can see, he have 8s. Not trying to be result orientated, but I'm just trying to illustrate that people do back raise pocket 8s here and you get it in. So yeah, that's the difference between when the initial preflop raiser 4-betters and the button 4-betters. Another interesting thing is, whether his play or his call when I shove was positive EV or not. Let's, I have another calculator for that. And again, you have to take my word that I use the right formulas here. So the pot is 260.8. For him to call my shove will be 200 minus 54. And let's check out his equity. Well, before that, we have to determine what am I shoving here, right? As I said that, this will be my value range. Jacks is the bottom, my value range, Jacks pass and King Ace. Assuming, for some reason I spastically do it Ace Queen too. He still have only 38.35 equity. Sorry, 0.36. Yeah, so as you can see here, his 4-back stack off was not bad at all versus the range I give myself. You know, he makes $10 every time he called, but of course, you know, I actually probably make more than that with jacks. But if I take out my ace queen, which, you know, I honestly don't think you should be doing it with ace queen. Now he only have 3.3, and now he's losing $10 in state. You know that 5% equity makes a big difference here. You know, I hope you learn something from just this basic calculation itself. So when you have pocket eights here, the astute thing to consider is, you know, how much fold equity you have when you fold back here, how often does he fold, and when he doesn't fold, you know, what does his value range looks like. You know, if he have ace queen in his value range, you know, then, you know, by all means, you know, fall back and call off. If you don't think he have, you know, maybe that's not, you know, such a good idea in the first place. Yeah, okay, let's go to the third hand. This is a totally different concept I want to talk about. First of all, under the first razor was pretty weak, so, you know, I want to play as many pots as possible as him, and I'm not going to 3-bet because, you know, he's so short and I don't want to get shoved here. This guy is a regular, pretty aggressive and good regular. I bet $10 here, which, you know, I have no idea why I bet $10. I should be betting $11. My standard would be to bet $11, 75% pot. But I bet $10 here with, you know, top pair. It's quite a drawy board. You know, the weaker player might check call with ace queen, ace king, you know, ace jack, whatever, I don't know. I might check call with pocket eights too. But the regular raises me. I think the first thing to notice here is that, you know, once he make it 30, he can now fold to a shove from this guy, even though I don't think he's gonna check shove here that often. So what do you do here? We have top pair out of position. You know, most of you will, I believe, I'm not so sure, I might be wrong, but most of you will do what I did and click call, which I really think is just terrible. You know, like, you know, our hand is just, in my opinion, just marginal hand, even though we have top pair, but it's really just marginal. You know, like, first we have to think is what a button could be raising here, and I just do not think he's bluffing very often at all. So let's, you know, try to assign him a range. I think he can have sets. I don't think he'll have pocket nines because he will have, you know, 3-bet pocket nines to try to get in with a weaker player with nines. Yeah, he's aggressive enough to do that. What he can have is a lot of flush draws, which we are, well, still ahead of, but, you know, in equity, really, we are not that much ahead of these flush draws. Let's, you know, give him more another type of flush draws, assuming he plays all ace suited on the button to a main raise, which I'm very sure he would, and it makes total sense to be raising here with his nut flush draws. He could have 7-8 suited. I think, yeah, he definitely could have 7-8 suited, you know, with the clubs. He could have all 6-7 suited, you know, with open-ended. And this, you know, I give him 3 retarded combos of 7-8 suited, that does not have the flush draw, you know, just to even out the odds a bit, you know. And versus my hand, on a 4 diamond 5 club 9 club board, you can see that, you know, I'm actually an underdog here, you know, a slight underdog, but still an underdog. And what you have to understand is calling out of position with was equally than the villain is like almost suicidal, you know. And you know, this is pretty much an always feel fold, and you know, I think pretty much butchered the hand. You know, when the queen turns, you know, you have to fold it obviously, but what is better is just to fold the flop and save yourself some money, because villain could be bluffing on a 3, could be bluffing on an 8, could be bluffing on a club, could be bluffing on a 10 queen king ace, and he could have the hand at the same time. So, and the moment we call, you know, we probably will not have a set neither. So our range is just so weak, and you know, he could be bluffing almost any turn or value betting any turn, and we totally get owned here. I have a last hand that I want to talk about, and honestly I'm not too sure about this hand, and I'm not going to discuss the hand to the end. What I'm going to do is post some questions for you, and hope you will reply me in the comment section. This is pretty standard. He raised 6 into 19. I could raise here as a bluff, but you know, I really didn't want to cost a re-raise anyway, so getting such good odds and a play at the back, you know, with the double gutter, I prefer a call. And I hit one with double gutter, I got the lower end of the straight. He checks, I bet, and he calls. And the initial preferred raiser just folds. So the question I want to pose to you guys is, what is villain's range for calling this turn? You know, I'm not going to go to the river. As you can see, I did lose the hand, but I'm not going to go to the river, you know, because the river action will obviously affect your judgment on his turn range. Yeah, but I'm interested to know, what do you think he will cold call here? You know, can he have, you know, 10 ace? You know, could he have, you know, sorry, 10 ace doesn't make sense. You know, will he call you with like, you know, 10-9? Will he call you with 10 jack? Or will he raise? You know, does he have a set? You know, does he have king queen? Does he raise with king queen, or does he call with king queen? You know, just let me know in the comment section. You know, I hope you enjoy this session, and I hope you learned something from here. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos and my articles so far, you know, please share it with your friends. Follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Wish you all the best in the tables, and goodbye.